In Buffalo, Pride is more than a celebration.
Happy Pride!
It's a stand against silence, against hate, and for those we've lost.
Lucky to have known them, lucky that they welcomed me into their circle, their big circle that they made here in Buffalo.
Their courage and creativity live on, fueling the call to be visible.
Nikki was a huge advocate for the city of Buffalo, the artists, the history, the architecture.
From trailblazers who marched long before it was safe.
For myself, a proud Black woman of trans experience, I well know and have seen that type of terror.
And entrepreneurs reshaping our neighborhoods.
It was really important that we created a space where people felt welcomed, no matter how you identify.
To those building bridges in the community.
We've continued to have more and more outreach to see what makes them feel safe, to see the needs of that community.
This city sings a song of hope and unity.
As we roll down this unfamiliar road.
This is a Two on Your Side special, visible to all, Buffalo's Pride Story. And thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Hall. This Pride Month, Two on Your Side is celebrating courage, identity, and visibility. Over the next half hour, we will bring you stories that honor the legacy of local LGBTQ+ icons, uplift trailblazers past and present, and shine a light on the leaders building a more inclusive future. But first, let's talk about LGBTQ+. As Melissa Holmes reports, it's more than just an acronym. It's about identity, inclusion, and respect.
You've probably heard the acronyms LGBT and LGBTQ. Each letter carries a significant meaning, and it keeps changing. So let's break it down. First of all, it's all about inclusion and taking ownership of one's gender and sexual identity. Until around the 1960s, the word gay was used to describe anyone who did not fit in. The default societal idea of heteronormativity, the community then started to embrace the gay identity with pride. It's since evolved into more specific words for different identities, like lesbian and bisexual and transgender. In recent years, the Q was added to the acronym to represent people who might not identify as LGBT, and it stands for queer and sometimes questioning. The Q also acknowledges a fluidity in gender and sexuality. However, it's not used by all members of the LGBT community, since it was once used as a way to put down people. As the acronym continues to evolve, the plus sign was added to acknowledge the limitless sexual and gender identities used by members of the community. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Bottom line, it's all about inclusion and respect.
And now that we've broken down what that acronym means today, it's also important to look back. Buffalo's Pride has always been rooted in visibility, and as we celebrate a theme of high visibility this Pride, Channel 2's Nate Benson takes a look at how the history of that fight is remembered.
Stories like this are tough. How do you share decades worth of experiences of a movement in a few minutes by simply listing names or sharing a few anecdotes from news headlines? To understand the decades-long fight for LGBTQ rights in Western New York is a study of history itself. Whether it's the relatively quiet and under-the-radar social clubs of the 50s and 60s, crackdowns by the Buffalo Police Vice Squad and Mayor Jimmy Griffin in the 70s and 80s that led to numerous court battles and the beginning of public sentiment swaying in the fight for gay rights, and the better understanding and even acknowledgement of the community in the 90s through the new millennium. For a better understanding of the history of the movement in the Western New York community, a good start is the Dr. Madeline Davis LGBTQ Archive. She was the first openly lesbian delegate to speak at a major party convention, which she did at the DNC in 1972. Dr. Davis maintained a decades-long archive, which can now be found on the Buffalo State website. The 227 boxes include thousands of pages of documents, newsletters, photos, and more. But the legacy of Buffalo's LGBTQ+ elders and activism can also be seen every day in Allentown, created by one of the early prominent transgender advocates in Buffalo, Ari Moore.
It was always a meeting spot for the LGBTQ community.
Entitled Stonewall Nation, Ari Moore, who spent 25 years as a Buffalo police officer and artist, as well as the late Mickey Harmon, created a tribute to those elders in the community that carved a path. I spoke with them about the significance of this piece when they painted it in the summer of 2020, just a few short months after the COVID pandemic began.
For the LGBT community, it's important and essential that they know their elders and forefathers and mothers and everyone in between. What was their significance and their importance in forming the rich history, which is Buffalo.
I'm from a younger generation of queers, but Ari approached me to do a queer mural, and I kind of was taken on this history lesson, this journey. I've seen all these faces and all these names, but I really never knew their backgrounds.
National figures like Gertrude Stein and James Baldwin are featured, but those who led the way in Buffalo are also featured prominently. They include Dr. Madeline Davis, Dr. James Haynes, Carol Spesser, Peggy Ames, Mark Bozer, and more.
The civil rights we enjoy today were hard fought here in Buffalo and beyond.
They were forerunners. They were out ahead of everything else that was going on.
And we are also shining a spotlight on inclusive local businesses this Pride Month. A couple who have lived all around the world now calls Buffalo home and chose the City of Good Neighbors as the place to launch their new bakery and coffee shop. 2 on Your Side's Kelly Dudzik takes us to Sevens in the Old First Ward.
We wanted to share what we know and love with other people here.
Caitlin Lanigan and Yasmin Batouche dreamed about opening their own cafe for years. The couple met in 2019 and discovered their love of the cafe and bakery scene as they traveled the world. While Yasmin is from England, Caitlin is originally from Buffalo.
We can imagine opening a business anywhere else in the world because the advice and the help that we've received from fellow business owners has just been incredible in this journey, and it truly is the City of Good Neighbors.
Sevens just opened on Louisiana Street in the Old First Ward. Sustainability is important here. Their to-go cups turn into compost in 60 days. Their hot drink cups, when you stay at the cafe, are made out of coffee bean husks. Their main focus is to make sure everyone who comes through the door feels welcome, accepted, and seen.
We feel like our food sort of complements that because we do just happen to be vegan. It means that if you have a dairy allergy, you can come here. We have lots of gluten-free options, so if you're a celiac or you can't eat, soy or nuts or sesame, we have a lot of experience, Kate in particular, in the kitchen of understanding what that means to people and being able to accommodate that. So we just wanted to create a space where everybody belongs.
This is the couple's first Pride in this new space as business owners.
Pride this year does feel somehow more profound or impactful or relevant than it ever has done in today's political climate that we find ourselves in. We created a space that is meant to be safe for everyone. As 2 women who are married, I'm an immigrant, I'm not from here. It was really important that we created a space where people felt welcomed no matter how you identify.
And when you walk in, you'll notice a gallery of black and white photos. It's their wall of rule breakers.
Everyone on these photos is doing something that at the time seemed wrong or against what rules society has set. So it's kind of just a reminder that you do have the power as one person to change the course of history. Each of us.
Yeah, and to make a difference and to make good choices. And I feel like I always say that we're made to feel like one person can't make a difference, but if you look at this wall, all of these singular one people or a small group of people did make a difference that slightly sort of changed the course of history. And that's a reminder for us that, it might not always feel like we're making a difference, but we are. And the choices that we make and the places that we choose to go, they make a difference even if we're made to feel like they don't.
On Your Side in Buffalo, Kelly Dudzik, Channel 2 News.
They just want to be respected and feel safe in their community. And it's our job to make sure they are.
Buffalo Police taking more steps to build trust with the LGBTQ+ community. Hear how officers are working to strengthen that bond. Plus, support for kids and guidance for parents. We'll tell you about the local programs helping young people feel seen and supported. That and more when Visible to You, Buffalo's Pride Story returns. Welcome back. In Buffalo, some police officers are working to make trust and themselves more visible in the community. It's part of an effort to build better understanding between law enforcement and the people they serve, including those who are LGBTQ+. 2 on Your Side's Chelsea Swift shows us how they are making those connections count.
The leaders of a local organization called Outspoken for Equality, Marsha Krebs and Ellen Leader, say they've worked with the Buffalo Police Department to establish rights for the LGBTQ+ community. Outspoken for Equality was instrumental in getting same-sex marriage legalized in New York State back in 2011. Ellen Leader believes more progress is needed.
I still think to a degree there is some danger and people are wary because even within Western New York, there are still plenty of people who do not like any part of our community.
Buffalo Police Commissioner Alfonso Wright says he grew up in Buffalo's Fruit Belt neighborhood and remembers a time when the LGBTQ+ community was persecuted.
Growing up in my area, if you came out as gay, it was actually dangerous. But I have seen the evolution.
Commissioner Wright says the Buffalo Police Department is working to increase trust with the LGBTQ+ community, especially following the murders of Mickey Harmon and Jordan Soletto, who were killed in their Allentown home in March. Wright says officers are getting to know people in different neighborhoods across the city.
We've increased walking details. We actually we're in the infancy stage of a walking detail. It's not only Allen Street, but it's everywhere. To see what makes them feel safe, to see the needs of that community.
Marsha Krebs says she believes this kind of community policing could be beneficial.
When they are talking to, the people in their community, whether they're doing it on foot, doing it on bicycle or whatever, so there's not that protection of a vehicle between them and the people in the community. It will always bring people closer.
Commissioner Wright says Fillmore District Buffalo Common Councilman Mitch Nowakowski has helped bridge the gap between the community and the police department.
Once you understand somebody more and you get almost educated on how to converse with somebody, that those people are oftentimes more likely to open up and to seek help.
They just want to be respected and feel safe in their community. And it's our job to make sure they are.
That was Chelsea Swift reporting. And for young people exploring their identity and for parents who want to better understand and support them, resources can make all the difference. That's where GLIS and the Pride Center can come into play, providing potentially life-saving programs that help kids feel seen, safe, and supported.
It's a new chapter for LGBTQ support services in Western New York.
So my name is Jack Kavanaugh. I'm the executive director of GLIS Western New York, which is an LGBTQ youth services and advocacy organization. And then just this week, we took over operations and oversight as well of the Pride Center of Western New York. So, we're able to provide services and resources to the whole community, with GLIS focusing on young people and the Pride Center focusing on adults up to older adults as well.
Kavanaugh says the realignment allows both nonprofit organizations to do what they do best.
The Pride Center has been doing a number of youth programs now for the past about 3 or 4 years, which has been great. They've been really successful working with families of younger kids, whereas GLIS is really focused and had a lot of success working with teens and kind of teenage young people, especially middle school and high school.
GLIS offers twice monthly support groups for trans and non-binary youth ages 13 to 17. For younger kids, the Pride Center provides space for creativity, play, and belonging. At both places, parents can attend their own group sessions at the same time.
I mean, the reality is that, especially with younger kids, their needs are just social, right? They just want to play. They just want to be around people like them. With teens, that's when you get more into a lot of the nuanced conversations and real support that they need around discovering their own identity.
GLIS also offers free drop-in programming every Tuesday and Thursday, and they're getting ready for Pride Alive, a family celebration June 1st after the Pride Parade at Babeville.
With music, food, entertainment, all those kind of fun stuff in a really family-focused environment that we can, again, allow these young people to see that there's a community that cares about them and that they're part of a larger community. So we're really excited about that.
Cages or wings, which do you prefer? Ask the bird.
Raising their voices, not just in song, but in solidarity. Coming up, how the Buffalo Gay Men's Chorus are using music to inspire pride, inclusion, and change. Plus, they were artists, activists, and deeply loved members of Buffalo's LGBTQ+ community. This Pride, see how the legacies of Mickey Harmon and Jordan Stiletto will live on. That and more when Visible to You, Buffalo's Pride Story returns. Welcome back. For more than 2 decades, the Buffalo Gay Men's Chorus has been using music to inspire, uplift, and unite. 2 on Your Side's Rob Hackford tells us how their message is hitting all the right notes and growing even louder.
As we roll down this unfamiliar road.
Since 2001, the Buffalo Gay Men's Chorus has been the voice of pride in the Nickel City. And for the last 6 years, Robert Strauss has been conducting.
1, 2, 3, and
just know you're not alone.
We're the Buffalo Gay Men's Chorus, but we're not all gay and we're not all men. It's more about the mission of being accepting for the LGBTQIA+ community.
It'll all be clear.
And sharing a message through music.
Don't pay no mind to the demons, they fill you with fear.
It's moving in a different way, to sing with others and to sing for people and to harmonize in that way, to blend our differences together and use them as strength.
A spectrum of voices.
Just know you're not alone.
Whether queer, gay, trans, or an ally, the chorus is 50 members strong, and Strauss says more than ever important.
I feel like, again, in this political climate, there are maybe terrible things that are happening, but it's empowering our allies to speak up to us and to others. And that is amazing.
The music and lyrics they choose and craft equally as meaningful as their existence, with themes of overcoming struggle and, like each concert, bringing people together.
Well, I think there are a lot of things that are special about the Buffalo Gay Men's Chorus. They make incredible music. The message of their music is really powerful. Our act of singing together is activism.
Cages or wings, which do you prefer?
But I have to say, it's the heart. They are supportive of each other. They are welcoming, they are loving. They become a chosen family for everyone, and maybe particular for those who need a family.
A family that's growing.
Since the Buffalo Gay Men's Chorus is a group of tenors and basses who sing for social justice, that we wanted to create a place for sopranos and altos who want to sing for social justice, so that we are being as inclusive as we can be.
The new group, the Nickel City Treblemakers, debuted with their partner chorus on May 17, 2025. Advocating and adding new perspective, they are already 35 singers strong.
sort of proves that there was a need. And because our music has a message, because our music empowers people, our music, the words inspire people to action and to live their own authentic lives. They get to see that. I get to see them responding to that. I get to see them knowing that they've made a difference. And I think that's really cool.
Two voices, one goal, urging for social justice in Buffalo. On your side, Rob Hackford, Channel 2.
And from voices raised in harmony to those that were taken too soon and left a lasting mark. This Pride, we remember two people whose presence in Buffalo's LGBTQ+ community is deeply missed this year. Mickey Harmon and Jordan Soletto were artists, advocates, and unapologetically visible. Channel 2's Alexandra Rios-Malvia shows us how their legacy continues to shine.
In the heart of Allentown, a new piece of art quietly takes its place on the wall of the Good Stuff Gallery.
This was actually the last show that Mickey set up for us. It was Mickey's choice to have Jamie do this, so it's, we're pretty excited to have them.
This mural will be slowly revealed as visitors by Prince.
Not anything like we've really ever done here before.
Each year, the gallery highlights LGBTQ+ artists for Pride Month. This show is one of Mickey's final contributions.
We got this here.
His best-selling prints are being restocked.
Brick bar, pink here, very popular one.
And one personal artifact still brings smiles.
It is something. It's very funny. If you knew Mickey and if you ever saw the bang, you'd understand it's the significance and the humor behind it.
Across town, a new artwork rises at Allen and Elmwood. It's a tribute to Mickey Harmon and his partner, Jordan Soletto.
And this is typically exactly what they would wear. Mickey, very flamboyant, and Jordan, his extra masculinity, but still being very soft and sweet.
Two artists, two advocates, two lives interwoven into Buffalo's cultural fabric. Mickey didn't just make space, he built it. He founded Intersect, a Pride Arts Festival that gave LGBTQ+ creators a platform.
Honestly, he was just the pushing force behind the entire thing. Like, his connections were the connections. Mickey had any connection you needed in this city. So if something had to be done, it was done through Mickey.
Mickey's work touches nearly every corner of Buffalo.
He was not afraid to be who he was, and fiercely, and that was inspiring to a lot of people.
This mural in Allentown, filled with faces of LGBTQ+ trailblazers, was one of his last major projects.
I don't think he's on this wall, but I assume at some point he will be, because he had a huge effect on all of us. So the fact that he was a part of the creation of this wall, and now will eventually at some point be on it, honored on it, is it's ironic. I mean, we lost him way too soon.
And at this site of New York's only LGBTQ+ historical marker outside New York City, a quiet, powerful legacy, Mickey helped unveil it. But his mark started long before that day. He designed the event flyer, drawing this photo of Bob Uplinger, the man the plaque honors, and layered the floral patterns from Bob's obituary, a blend of beauty, memory, and meaning.
You can see this through his art, a great appreciation and understanding of history and local history. So that was another facet, of his.
He later joined the team behind the marker, shaping just how Buffalo remembers.
He didn't believe in making himself smaller to, make himself acceptable and tolerable.
From murals to artwork and curls to community, Mickey and Jordan's story is now part of Buffalo's. On your side in Buffalo, I'm Alexandra Rios-Malvia, Channel 2 News.
And thank you so much for joining us for this Two on Your Side special as we celebrate courage, identity, and visibility. I'm Lauren Hall. Thanks for watching Visible to All, Buffalo's Pride Story.